very reluctant to pull the trigger, and the setup has just been poor.
Yeah. So a 3-2 SKTelecom in 4th place against a 10th place 5-loss SBENU Sonicboom. And as you can see, things looking pretty grim for Sonicboom.
They've taken a couple of games off of some of the other bottom-tier teams in the league, like CJ and EM Fire, but unable to close. And SKT got surprised by Jin Air and then beaten out in what was actually a very good series against the Rocks Tigers.
Yeah, that was. Until Game 3.
Until Game 3. But if we don't see the substitution, I think a lot of what has ailed SKT has been having Blank, who just doesn't provide pressure in the early game.
Yeah. Blank has really kind of been just that as their new jungler. He really hasn't gotten anything done, hasn't really shown much mechanical skill, much strategic prowess. I mean, SKTelecom has been an organization that traditionally has been very good at recognizing new talent and developing that, but Blank is not working out so far. And they're not starting him today. They are starting with Bengi. So I think they are going to come at this one with a little bit more of a serious perspective.
Kindred is banned. Nunu is buffed.
That's
it's
true.
It's time for Bengi, Doa.
Unleash the Bengi. Do you think they'll actually pick Nunu though? I don't know. Well, you can never really put it past Bengi, can
okay,
you? But
well, let's ask ourselves, how has SKT been playing this season? Have they been playing comps around peeling for Bang?
Yeah.
And powering up Bang?
Yeah, they have.
Well,
yep.
Nunu seems like he might be pretty good at that. And now he can shoot many more snowballs in late game team fights with a reduction on the Ice Blast cooldown. So, I'm going to go with, yes, they will play Nunu today.
Wow. A bold proclamation by Anticristo, predicting the Nunu. Would you say it's a 100% chance?
No, I just think that it's always been a Bengi special, and it didn't get hugely buffed, but it got buffed enough that a player like Bengi should be able to play it. But in spite of all the trials and tribulations of SKT and their 3-2 record so far this season, Faker remains the highest damage per minute player in the league. So It's not like he isn't there providing that boost to his team. And remember too, he's been peeling for Bang. Have we seen a lot of Lysandra and Lulu? Absolutely. So, absolutely.
Faker's still ridiculously good, for sure. And I'm just waiting for the Vi buffs to come in, because then Bengi will really be back. Get that Vi going again.
And Italy ban against Flawless alongside the Alistair, Secret's best pick. So Soar will be in this game. And no Rise, of course, for Faker. That is just right out.
Yep. See what the last ban is going to be. Thinking long and hard about it. A lot of powerful picks still up. They're going to ban the Lee Sin. And, you know, that's smart. Flawless is certainly the weak link on this team right now. Either Flawless or Soar, you could say. And so if you take away his two primary junglers in Italy and Lee Sin, you know, we'll see what he has left.
They are going to deny the Lulu. SKT has liked to play mid-GP this season, but it takes some time to scale, and that's what SKT's been doing every game. Tom Kench top lane, or Poppy top lane. You take something like GP, or you take a blue Ezreal, and you really start rolling. And that is a Graves lock, presumably for Bengi. That is not what we expected, Doa.
Well, I mean, it's been a few years. It's time for Bengi to expand his jungle repertoire.
All right, it could be a top lane Graves.
True.
To be fair, we don't necessarily know that Bengi is playing this, but this would appear to be well outside of his wheelhouse.
Unless he's suddenly become a Graves master. Just when you're ready to count Bengi out, he comes back. It's true.
So,
it's true.
Corki probably in the mid lane for Faker. I think that's what we can suss out. That has been a Faker champion so far this season, and less of a Bang pick.
That's fairly likely. Lucian could be locked in. I don't know about the Alawi. We have not seen it yet in Korea.
Especially not this early. You wouldn't be grabbing that one.
Then again, it is SBENU. Sauce has been known to do some crazy things. Heimerdinger would also be one of those crazy things, but will probably not be locked in. There we go. All right. Trundle last minute.
You were getting worried there, weren't you, Darryl?
I was getting a little bit worried.
It's okay, you don't have to be worried.
Lucian
and Trundle. So it's basically a composition that we might see SKT run, with the exception of that Trundle, but lots of emphasis on the Lucian carry in the late game. Nuclear has been a bright spot in an otherwise pretty dark season for SBENU Sonicboom thus far, and oh boy, triple AD carry.
Yes, indeed. And Bang on Ezreal has been a classic for SKTelecom. Bengi maybe just grabbing that Elise, and you might be right. That might just be a top lane Graves.
I was suspicious, though.
Or you could be wrong.
I could also be wrong.
You could be wrong, too. You don't know yet. You don't know which it's going to be. Wrong or right. Braum is the pickup.
I mean, you have to believe that Tom Kench is probably coming next for SKT once they see what the top lane pick is.
Makes sense. And Secret known as a great Alistar player. That's why we've got the ban against him. But Bard could work too. Blitzcrank could be really entertaining, and it might be a top Quinn here for Soar, with Sawson taking that Lulu in the mid lane.
Setting up for a pretty strong 4-1 split composition.
They need a jungler though, don't they?
Yes, they do. Unless they're going to do something truly wacky like have Trundle jungle. To be quite slow on the clear time. But the Elise and the Bard, so lots of peel. It's all about nuclear this game.
Yep. The Fiora for Soar. Okay. And Flawless will be using that Elise. So what's the final pick for SKTelecom going to be?
Poppy's gone right through the draft, but
wow,
honestly,
yeah.
SKT has not been one of the better Poppy teams. Duke has not been one of the better Poppy players.
See, I feel like Wolf could be a good Poppy player. I'm a little bit surprised that he's not.
We don't see enough Poppy support here. It's still highly viable. But they've got a lot of choices right now as to what they want to play against the Fiora. The Quinn is up. The Tom Kench is up. And we've seen a lot of those late game Tom Kench and Fiora duels go down to if Fiora can manage to riposte basically the Devour. Because if not, we've seen how someday can lose in that duel. But it may just be a Poppy again.
Hey.
I don't know about this.
All right. And so that'll be a top Poppy. And so it will be Bengi using that Graves in the jungle.
So a bit of a surprise, but they're taking a triple AD carry composition. Faker can play either Ezreal or Corki, as can Bang, so we'll see which one it shakes out. Generally, we've seen the Corki on Faker and the Ezreal on Bang, but it looks like they're going to switch it up this game and actually just play the mid lane Ezreal.
Nope.
All right.
Swapping it. I thought they were probably going to swap it. Nope. Oh, they do. Okay, there we go. All right. Nope. Oh. No, they've got until 20 seconds. I think they're going to give Faker Corki.
Huh?
Yep.
All right.
Thought so.
So end up with the Bang Ezreal instead. They've got the disengage. So again, we saw this from the Tigers. They take the Braum early to prevent a counter to their poke composition. Trundle was already taken though, so by the time that was locked in.
Well, we saw something similar not work out too well for the Rocks Tigers. We'll see if SKTelecom can make it happen against SBENU.
Yeah, that Trundle was still flexible at the time, though, because they hadn't locked in Fiora. So just doubling down, they have Poppy and Braum for disengage. And just like we saw in Game 1 of the Tigers versus Africa, it really comes down to SBENU's ability to pull off some TP flanks. And they don't really have the best team composition for it.
Well, we'll see if SKTelecom can take the win. Move on ahead in this best of 3. Time to get in the game and find out.
Mother Nature, everybody wants to rule the world.
And welcome to Summoner's Rift. SBENU Sonicboom taking on SKTelecom, our reigning League of Legends World Championship team, who this season has kind of missed a couple beats so far. But if you think back to early 2015, there was a lot of experimentation going on. The results didn't really look that much better, and we all know how that season ended up.
It just takes time. I don't think that SKT is really experimenting right now. I think they're just trying to iron out the kinks with Duke and replacing that top lane position, and they're dealing with a meta where Bengi really isn't the best player to have on your team. So as long as this sort of highly mechanical carry jungling comes about, and there aren't a lot of utility picks, Bengi is a smart jungler when it comes to pathing and when it comes to controlling vision and creating pressure, but he certainly isn't a dazzler, and hasn't been for a while when it comes to just outplaying somebody in a 1v1 or playing delicately in a team fight.
But in the club scene, Bengi is totally known as the Dazzler.
The Dazzler.
It's true. I've heard. I've heard the rumors.
Bengi the Dazzler.
That's right. They call him the Dazzler. You can find him at the club.
Oh boy, some quality HP sustain in our top lane. We're gonna end up with standard lanes this game.
Yep. That's right. And really, I mean, everyone's just kind of curious to see how this is going to work out for Bengi. Meanwhile, Bang taking some early hits here.
Yeah, burns his heel super early on.
Yeah, well, Secret had a really good trundle pillar, and when you are able to land that early on, it costs a lot.
They also hit level 2 first.
Yeah.
So, pretty easy advantage taken there by Secret and Nuclear, and you don't want to end up in the Trundle Lucian lane if you are Braum and Ezreal. But this is one of the reasons why SKT has been just struggling in the early game, is that they play scaling like this. Is their composition powerful late when it comes to Siege and Bang taking over the game on Blue Ezreal? Yes, and they've had huge comeback victories, like the game one they had against the Rocks Tigers with the Blue Ezreal. But it definitely has not been working out for them when it comes to getting the gold lead at 15 minutes.
Yeah, very true. I mean, you add into that just the crazy stuff Faker's been able to do on this Corki once he gets rolling too. You can kind of nearly always count on SKTelecom to have a pretty strong late game. I just want to see Bengi be aggressive.
I think we would all love to see that.
Yeah, we've seen it before. It was rare. But when the Vi pick was viable.
Well, at least N2 historically, but
yeah,
that was more in Season 3. He's shaped a new identity for himself, I think, ever since then.
Wrong identity, I guess.
Well, it's
worked last year.
In some metas, Noah, it's wonderful. In others, like this one, it's not exactly the greatest, but we also see players like Peanut, who last year, of course part of it was he was more of a rookie, struggling, but when he can actually play aggressively, it's an entirely different story.
Yeah.
But big advantage so far for Duke in the top side, getting the better of that lane pretty quickly.
Yeah, really out-farming Soar at the moment. And Duke's Poppy. Should be interesting to see what he can do on that.
Well, we've seen it a lot, and he hasn't been playing very well, so I'm a bit surprised that they went after this pick again. A lot of it, though, has been more decision-making rather than the champion, but he just hasn't shown up on the teleports or been able to really threaten the back line on the Poppy. It's been pretty underwhelming.
Well, against a team like Sonicboom, maybe it's not the worst time to give yourself a little bit of experience on it.
Fair enough.
Uh-oh, Bengi's coming in. He's aggressive Bengi now. Trying to stop Flawless from taking that Grom. Aggressive Bengi is going to aggressively throw down a ward and walk away. Never mind.
Joke's on you, Doa.
Got to fight over this ward now, right?
Well,
you have to fight.
Flawless is
nice.
going to win that one 100% because he doesn't have to reload.
Oh. So much for aggressive Bengi.
How about aggressive Faker?
I'm used to that. It happens every game. It's really good, but nothing new. Take a big chunk out of Sauce, and Faker actually burned his exhaust, it looked like there, yeah.
But yeah, he's got pretty much free use of that ability, considering Sauce just has TP.
Yep. Oh, aggressive Bengi walking away aggressively. Sauce just going to TP into that mid lane, and Faker needs to be careful here. He's got his flash, but he'll still get caught. Here comes Wolf to make sure he's safe. Ah, here we go. Aggressive Bengi.
He's walking up to auto the wave, Doa.
Nice. One auto, and that's it. Thank you.
Aggressive Bengi, controlling minion waves so Faker can back.
So good, man. He killed that one minion, and I was like, man, that was more aggression than I've seen from Bengi in a long time. Look at that, aggressively taking the Raptors.
He can't really
except for the big one.
He can't really do anything about this while Faker's in base, so
well,
just getting what he can.
They're up around more.
Meanwhile, Wolf is there, and the deep wards go in. Isn't that the most important thing, Doa? The deep wards?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, the answer is definitely
Whatever you say, Trundle. He's like, I made this big ice skating rink.
Once Riot updates all the champions, it's just going to be non-stop yelling in the game.
I know, right?
It's so irritating.
Hey, those voice actors are paid by the hour. You got to fill it. Fill with something.
Right, it's like, look at all these awesome character lines we have in the game, but they don't realize that the end result is with every new champion, and as everything gets updated visually and in terms of the audio, that it's just going to, team fights are going to be an absolute nightmare.
It's going to sound like 10 people shouting
I'm sorry,
at each other.
I needed this character to be able to yell this line at this other character during the team fight. Yeah, so cool. Unique interactions, and it's just going to be like...
You're in for the peace and quiet of the Jerry Springer show.
That's right.
Man. We don't really have any good Corky Lulu interactions yet. Need to work on that. I'm gonna play. I'm not. There you go. Wrote that one for you. Oh, Wolf stopped from coming in. They were gonna try to gank Secret Nuclear in the bot lane, but it looks like it didn't work out because of the ward.
Another exciting early game.
Oh yeah.
So these standard lanes, but Swords bounced back and actually gone back in the lead when it comes to that CS. So he's got the Tiamat very fast here. So Poppy's going to be stuck next to her turret for a lot of the time right now. Has the Bomby Cinder, but nothing else really.
Oh, here comes aggressive Bengi. He's like, oh, I didn't get my red buff. Oh.
Yeah, just stolen right out from under his nose. See if he goes onto the other side of the map and tries to take a red buff, considering that his bot lane is well in control of the pressure, and they've got a million wards.
There's one now.
He's already ahead when it comes to that jungle CS too. And notice he has Boots of Swiftness on Graves before going for a warrior in chat. Oh, Bengi, never change.
It's so he can get there faster and be aggressive. Clearly.
He's the warding Graves.
That's right. Take note, Peanut. This is how you play a Graves.
He's not even going to fight over this red buff at all.
Tracker's knife and the Boots of Swiftness. Yeah.
God bless you, Bengi.
Got the grump. You know, the champions may change, but the play stays the same. Uh-oh, now, okay, never mind. Here's the big change. Aggressive nature.
Nice.
He wants that red buff. He got it. Nice.
Nope.
No.
Oh, he did get it.
He did, okay.
I was worried there.
I got fooled for a second, too, because I saw the one on Flawless. Yep. There you go. Nice aggressive move, Bengi.
He's methodical. Comes in at the right time. That's the intelligence right there. Perfectly timed. Faker has the ability to roam out of that mid lane. Yep. So he set it up, and it does work out in the end. As much fun as we make of Bengi, he succeeded in trading that red buff when all was said and done.
Well, Bengi is becoming, quietly, one of the greatest League of Legends players of all time. You realize this, right? In terms of results, he's won 2 world championships. He's won like 1 million seasons here in Korea. And he's never bad. He's always pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good to really good. I mean, he had a bad season 4. Overall, his showing was not particularly inspiring, and we wondered if he was even going to come back for season 5, and we found out he even had thoughts of retiring, and Coma convinced him to stay.
But even then, he wasn't as bad as some other junglers.
You can't deny 4 titles and 2 world championships.
Yeah, that's right. Successful Bengi. Saucin gets in a nice safe ward to watch for ganks coming in. Oh, gets pinged immediately though. They know what happened.
Well, they saw him walk out very briefly, so they have a very good idea of where that ward is. And Faker's been great at using the package effectively to set up ganks. Always that possibility that you can go after a Fiora perhaps in the top side. They have tons of bursts up there already. Curious how he's going to use this. All the wards have expired in the enemy jungle. But you see Wolf coming in again. Trying to make that play, and Faker just pushing up here as best he can. Take away the Raptors, and
well, they have denied a decent amount of CS from Flawless. It is a little bit of a lead for Bengi.
Now the fact that Bang has gone even in the solution lane too is huge for them.
And And now SKT going to be able to grab a dragon, it looks like. Yep, no defense from SBENU, just the pillar to kind of keep an eye on things. Dragon's dying pretty fast, though. Faker's backing away, wants to go protect his mid lane, as it looks like Bengi and Wolf should have this one. And they do.
Well, Bengi doesn't have smite, so they do have to burst it all the way down to 0, but...
Very polite applause for that dragon.
Well, this is a solid sign, at least for SKT. Like we said, coming in, they were last in the league in terms of their dragon control. They had only taken 32% of the dragons in their games. And this is a team with more wins than losses. And they still had 32% dragons taken. So that was pretty awful. In some ways, it does show they weren't taking risky fights early on when they were trying to scale up with GP or Ezreal, but probably should have more than 32% all the same. You can't find those windows to take them for free like we saw right there. There's probably something wrong.
Well, they're trying to break all the trends right now. They've actually got a gold lead before 15 minutes. Amazing.
See if they
It's
can
a
keep it
small
up.
one. Yeah.
They're not behind 782 gold, which has been their average in 15 minutes. Yet, we'll
Not
wait.
yet.
Got 2 more minutes still up for
Well,
them to fail a tower dive.
If anything would have happened, it would have been a fight over dragon, but since dragon's already been taken, I think we're safe.
Oh no, they can still play overly aggressive.
Bengi will just back away. SKT with pretty good vision, too, in the bottom hill.
Well, typical Bengi.
Yep.
Right. You know what he's going to give you. He's going to invade, put down the wards, and give you the necessary information. Finally working his way up to that warrior enchantment.
Oh, wow, Faker really making Saucin pay for trying to come up and grab that CS. Makes him miss a few, but the lane is still even.
This has been the most like passive Graves play I think we've seen this season, except for possibly Blank. But Blank also wasn't getting the same level of deep vision in as Bengi has been. He basically just sat and farmed in his own jungle the entire time.
True. Well, they know what's up. They're clearing those wards. And SKT getting all the objectives this game. They're going to go for the Rift Herald as well. Probably give that over to Bengi. Maybe Faker. Nope, Bengi. It's a jungler's buff.
It is a jungler's buff. Bengi needs it to be just that much faster to get in and place more wards down, Doa.
Wants to be aggressive. Can't blame the guy.
This is really interesting, actually. That's an Eye of the Watchers onto Lulu and Saucin. So that's a different take onto the Morello Nomicon. It's actually cheaper than Morello Nomicon.
Huh.
So really curious. He's actually built this instead of a Frost Queen's claim, but you're going to have a lot more wards out of that, and you still get that 100% mana regen and the 10% cooldown reduction. You also get gold. It's a gold generation item. And unlike Morello Nomicon, so you get 25 ability power instead of 80.
Yeah.
So you get less ability power, but you get more health against the poking Corki. This is a really weird Lulu build, but I'm kind of into it, Doa.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to get a lot of mana regen too, and having the wards will help keep you safe.
Yeah, it's odd, but if you actually think about it in comparison, it's 250 gold cheaper than the Morello Nomicon, but you still get the mana sustain. It's just about that AP, so we'll see how well this build goes. But the nice thing too is you get 2 gold per 10 seconds, so it's gonna...
Zor pops the grand challenge on the Duke. Duke looks like he'll be okay though. Faker goes in onto Saucin. There's a Lulu ult though. Faker just gets baited really hard. Has to use his exhaust on Flawless. Looks like he'll be able to get away though. Maybe. Oh, Lulu's catching up. 1 Glitter Lance to do it. Bengi comes in with the smoke grenade though.
Wow, so they actually didn't know. They thought that when Faker took that fight and started running bottom that Bengi or Wolf were going to be there, but they actually were nowhere close. They just couldn't see where they were. So SBENU psyched themselves out. They could have easily gotten that kill. I mean, Saucin had flash. Wow, they faked themselves out big time there.
Duke TP's back up in the top lane. I mean, it's intimidating playing against SKTelecom, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you play with a lot of respect towards Faker just in general, but sometimes you can play with too much respect. So Lulu going into Rod of Ages next. This is like a super scaling build. So more HP. So it's light on the AP at least for now, but it's more gold efficient in the early game and provides you with better vision. So they're really going to try and aim to play around Nuclear here because Lulu's going to be doing less damage than she might normally deal if she went for something like a Morellonomicon in the early game, which we've been seeing more and more of.
Then as SKTelecom, does that put you under any pressure to get things going a little bit quicker? Bengi gets cocooned. Flawless takes a lot of damage though. They draw the ult out of Saucin. Here comes Wolf. This is with the Q. TP coming in though. Secret is there. SKTelecom's in trouble. Braum uses that ultimate. Secret chasing Bengi down, who backs away. Faker doing a lot of damage to Secret from the side. And Saucin got chunked too low to really follow up. Nuclear coming in, but here comes Bang. Bang.
So close. So he's going to go for it.
Yeah, Q
Nice
on the Flawless.
cocoon. All right, so he is stopped in the end, but
Very close.
Wow, SKT, great kiting and disengage. Soar used that TP, but didn't actually end up going through. So interesting there. Saucin has to TP right back at the lane to get back, and they played a little bit with fire right there. Duke did not have his TP available.
Yeah, it looked dangerous for SKTelecom early on. But just at the last minute, Saucin took a lot of damage, and it ended up being a fight that SBENU couldn't really follow through with.
I'm gonna go back to this Eye of the Watcher because I'm very intrigued by it. So let's compare it to Frost Queen's Claim because they're both going to build out of the Frost Fang.
Yep.
So you have the same cooldown reduction, the same gold generation, the same base mana regen, but you get 30 more ability power for Frost Queen's Claim in addition to that active. But you get, which gives you the vision, right, and the utility of the team fights. But instead you go with the wards instead. They have exactly the same cost. I don't know which is better. Saucin's always been a very creative player.
True. I feel like I'd still side with Frost Queen's Claim just because of the utility it gives you.
I think I would too, but I
mean, wards are nice, but if you have your trinket, if the other members of your team are warding properly, do you really need those?
Well, this is one of those situations where I kind of wonder if it was the Tigers playing Lulu. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Faker gets the turret, has to make it out.
If the Tigers were playing Lulu and you...
Oh, flash cocoon, Faker dodges. He saw that one coming a mile away. SKTelecom going for the second dragon, they'll take it easily.
Yeah, Flawless with a desperation play right there. Even if he had landed it, he didn't have the backup to take that. If you just think about it, Saucin had already run away from that situation. Everyone from SKT was on the dragon. So you land that and still nothing happens, really. Bang.
Bang has to back away, but Flawless did take some damage. Can you get him with a two-shot barrage, maybe? Thinking about it. No, it doesn't look like it.
Flawless already topped up right there. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Joe. I think Frost Queen's Claim is better right now. But as I was saying, if you're playing with a Graves on your team, or somebody like Peanut who's like Nidalee with Skirmisher Saber, and you want the extra wards coming from somewhere, then maybe I can see some value to this build. But Frost Queen's Claim is just so good, even though it was nerfed on this patch 6.2, and the cooldown has been raised by 30 seconds, which is a 50% increase. That is a huge nerf.
Right. I think he's going to find Flawless here. There we go. Aggressive Bengi coming in. Oh, gets cocooned though.
Flash.
He's going to chase. Flawless could be in trouble. Doesn't have his flash because of that use. Nice dodge on the ultimate. He's still in trouble though. One more auto should do it. Yep. First blood at 21 minutes almost goes to Bengi, the aggressive Graves. It all paid off in the end.
He's got that farm advantage. Yeah. He's starting to stack up, moving into his Yomu's Ghostblade after the Hex Drinker. And there's a flash from Wolf. They love this.
Yeah, they really do. Secret dodges the ultimate, but gets kind of zoned away from his carry. Nuclear still does a ton of damage to Wolf, but here comes Faker to try to clean it up. Nuclear gets exhausted. Nuclear gets taken out by the two-shot barrage. Faker cleans up Secret. That's an easy couple kills.
Saucin may not want to be here.
I don't think he wants to be here at all. Turns around, gets the kill on the Faker. What a play by Saucin. Maybe he does want to be there. I think he did.
I think he did too.
Oops.
Bang had no flash there for the follow-up, so nice counterplay from Saucin. Does manage to pick up the kill and make it work, but Flawless comes back and finds his red taken away by Bengi.
Yep.
Duke in the meantime has the top lane turret down, and that's the last tier 1, and all of a sudden SKT zooms out to a pretty substantial 5K gold lead here at 22 minutes.
Yeah. That's funny to see Saucin come in and get a kill like that too. Let's watch the replay again.
They zone out Secret right here, and I thought they'd go for the last proc of the Braum, but instead, look at this. He knows Faker's already coming down. So Bang is smart. He switches to Nuclear to CC him too because he's further in advance, and then lines up the True Shot Barrage. Faker has no problem. So that's a very specific situation that you would make that decision. You see the flash forward right there. Saucin, though, still has his flash and enough survivability now that he's that Rod of Ages stacking up, and you know what? That's the difference right there. If he had had Frost Queen's claim, he would have probably died because he wouldn't have had that 200 HP.
That's a good point. That's actually, that actually I think did make the difference, health-wise, yeah. Faker, you know,
I don't think Faker is used to playing against this in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, Faker's known for knowing pretty exact limits as far as health goes, and if somebody swaps items on you like that, it can throw you, I guess. Funny. He didn't look too happy with the shot of him we got after that either.
It's all right. His team's still doing just fine.
Well, he still got the kill onto Secret too before dying. They've got all the pressure on SBENU right now. Nice 5,000 gold lead.
Only 3 kills at 20 minutes. They've just been putting it together. It's kind of that CS advantage that they have in pretty much every lane right now. And the fact that 3 towers are down in their favor to none for SBENU.
Yeah. Wolf is kind of on his own here. Cocoon comes in, bang, can't save his carry. Yeah, the dangers of warding, we know them well, us support players. Duke in a little bit of trouble here, but Sora decides not to pursue.
Uses flash actually, so did Duke in that scuffle. Both of them use their ults too. Not enough follow-up. And Bang, or Wolf rather, warding alone on that bottom side. No Bengi to back him up. Gets isolated, caught out, and killed. But still, SKTelecom feeling good. Big Dragon advantage, you still have that. You've got enough wave clear to easily deal with the pushes, and SBENU, even though they had the advantage in the bottom lane in the 2v2, they haven't actually translated that into an objective up until right now.
Yep, getting that bottom lane turret. That's their first of the game, and it's coming pretty late at 25 minutes.
Very slow tower. But they still have the late game Fiora, and that is their big hope. If Sora can play this out and start really pressing home in the late game with that huge power spike that Fiora gets.
And if you compare Sora's Fiora, though, to Smeb's, I mean, you could almost forget that a Fiora was in this game up until this point.
Yep. 25 minutes, though. Fiora's going to come online, and we'll see what Sora is made of here.
I suppose.
Because he is getting very close to picking up the couple core M's you need. Has the Hydra and working towards that Black Cleaver. Sterix Gauge and Iceborne Gauntlet, interestingly, from Duke, so much higher damage Poppy build than we typically see. Not sure if they really need damage in this game. I don't know if I agree with that. He probably should just be playing tanky with his triple 80 carries.
Ah, Bengi gets out there. They activate the dragon. I don't think they're quite ready to go for it, though.
No, take Crab now, push out bottom lane, and then take the dragon. That should be the operation here for SKTelecom. Make sure your mid lane stays up. You don't want to trade that over. That's the dragon less important than keeping your mid tier 1 available.
Wow, Duke doing a really good job poking down Sora, but now they have to worry about this mid lane turret.
Well, at least for the moment, that Poppy build really working out for Duke.
Yep,
Here we
TV
go.
coming in. Duke wanting to make an appearance now. He's going to throw Flawless against the wall. Bank comes in for a bit of damage. SKT, everyone pursuing Duke with the ultimate. But it looks like SBENU should be able to back away, and all of this will just serve to get SKTelecom, theoretically, that third dragon.
Yeah, that was good. Just trading the TPs. Duke also came out of his TP and realized that he had his ranged auto attack on Poppy up. So he threw it backwards to zone out as many people and try and get the collapse. Duke now has to run into the top side. SBENU still wants to play around this dragon, but they're not going to get it.
Well, they want to at least try to trade the top turret for it, but Duke's already back in lane, so it doesn't look like Sword's going to be able to get it right now.
Just goes back, throws out an auto, picks up his shield. So Duke's Sterix Gauge, Sunfire, Iceborne Gauntlet build, at least at this point of the game, is capable of repulsing this Fiora, which is something we haven't seen. So I think it's interesting that we can take a look at this even matchup right now when it comes to kills and CS and say, okay, this is something that Poppy can deal with at this stage.
Wow, Faker going in onto Saucin. Saucin gets exhausted, tries to ult himself. Faker flashing over the wall. Could be in trouble though, may have bitten off more than he can chew. In fact, almost had. Gets healed in the end by Bang's hero power.
Oh,
dude.
Wolf flashed
Bang got
for
the
that.
summoner.
Wolf flashed to protect Faker with the jump over.
And it worked. Bang popped the summoner heal at the same time, and all of that was enough to keep Faker alive. Got the kill on the nuclear, got the tier 2 turret. Now they may try to get a Baron.
Yeah, might be a little bit early for that, but they did get the kill onto the AD carry. Well, it's 28 minutes.
There,
they can do it.
It seems earlier though, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can just force this.
Yeah, they can at least bait it.
That's a confused spider. We'll have to at least try this round before Nuclear can get back to the pit, and they're going to start it.
All right, so now Nuclear's back up, but he's a long way away. They have to respond. SKTelecom doing this Baron pretty quick though. Wolf just blocking some damage. They're going to disengage. Flawless may have come a little bit too far forward. Braum ultimate doesn't connect with anybody though. And that's looking a bit disjointed.
Yeah, it is. You have the Braum Q, you have the Braum ultimate, you have two Iceborne Gauntlets. You can't track anybody down right there. Not the best engage, but SBENU dancing around just enough to deter them from taking the Baron and actually probably closing out this game.
Yep. Still holding that 5,000 gold lead at 29 minutes, which is pretty nice.
Bang's not going to get any weaker either, and we know what he can do in the late game on a blue build Ezreal.
Yeah, exactly. Faker's still very strong. Bengi actually doing a lot of damage. The whole team just doing a lot of damage. And Wolf soaking a lot of damage.
He's there to be the sponge.
Yep.
With what we see actually him pick up the Frozen Heart in the end, and their only damage threats are Fiora really and Lucian. By going for Eye of the Watcher, Saucin has delayed some of his AP, so he's not going to be quite as strong as other Lulus would be.
Looks like he wants to pick up a death cap now.
Yeah, it still has the Rod of Ages stacking, so it's not going to be terribly weak, but just chose a more delayed late game Lulu build based around vision.
Aggressive Bengi's killing all the wards.
He's got it on lockdown, man.
Yep.
It's back to Baron control, but SKT just needs to properly set up for this push onto the tier 2. Duke's still there. We'll see what the state of Fiora versus Poppy is. Looks like it's pretty good for Poppy.
I was going to say, Duke on the run though, so after getting the knockup, but that actually dodges her post. Duke turning around, throwing Sora into the wall there.
Wow,
and neither wants to finish it, but Duke seems to be kind of coming out ahead.
Well, now that he sees Flawless is over on the other side of the map, he really wants this one.
Yep, W works. There's a knockup. Sora trying to dash away. Duke comes in again for the kill. He gets it though. Oh, hello. Shot barrage a little bit late.
Protection barrage.
Yep.
Culling will be absorbed by Unbreakable, and SKT just pounding their way through. Now, Duke, of course, does have more gold due to the global objectives, but these items just working extremely well against Fiora. I'm excited to see if other people pick up on this Poppy build into this matchup.
Well, finding a way to take up Fiora has been kind of a premium.
Yes, it has been.
For. People are figuring it out. Here comes the teleport coming in. Flawless Secret not able to make a big impact into stopping SKT from going to this Baron. They're still doing it. Saucin waiting. Baron getting low. This is dangerous for SKT. They get the Baron. They can turn around now. Secret caught out completely. Has to flash over the wall. That's the Lulu ult out of the way as well. And so that's going to mean an easy team fight for SKT, I'm thinking.
Well,
Wolf getting low, though.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice pillar by Trundle to disengage because he put it, instead of putting it on Poppy and the Braum, he actually just hit it right over the wall to make sure that Faker and Bang couldn't use their gap closers to come over and finish off the kills. So he actually keeps everybody on his team alive by doing that. But still, in the end, the Baron to SKTelecom.
It's true. And it may be a dragon pretty soon, too.
Dragon number 4.
Yep. Coming up for SKTelecom as SBENU tries to push up this mid lane.
It's time for a nice shopping voyage.
Shopping voyage. That sounds like
it's an odyssey of shopping.
Viking-themed good story, you know? Shopping voyage.
I'd go there. I would get my Viking supplies there.
Oh, trying to go after Faker, but getting a lot of damage done with the culling. Over the wall comes Bang, though. Nuclear takes a big chunk of health. Missing. Duke comes in. Bang fires that few shot barrage through the team. SKT has SBENU on the run. They take out the jungler already. There goes Soar. And SKT can get as much as they can out of this and then just turn right around for that 4th dragon anytime they want.
Nuclear has to actually disengage after Duke hits him, but there's Secret.
Wow, they catch Secret, couldn't run away in time, and with that Baron buff, you don't need that 4th dragon. With the death timers this long, you might as well grab an inhibitor out of it.
Sure, go for the win even.
Yeah, probably could.
30 seconds left on Soar and Secret.
Yeah, I think it will be enough. They're burning through those objectives so fast. And it doesn't look like SBENU is going to be able to stop SKTelecom from taking their first win of the night here at about 34 minutes. A little bit of action on the Nuclear, but there goes the second Nexus turret. And there goes the Nexus, and SKTelecom with a pretty measured, methodical win here in Game 1.
That's more what we expect from SKT.
Yeah.
Great play on the map, excellent warding to make good decisions, and then just a very surgical style of dismantling the opponent. Once they get an advantage, it's so hard to come back from it because they know how to snowball very well. That looked way better than their games against EM Fire last week.
I think a lot of people, themselves included, certainly Coma, were disappointed by that match against EM Fire and SKTelecom. Coming back and playing a solid game here in game number 1.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
SBENU, they had some luck early. We got to see Saucin have a couple of kills, but the Poppy play was way better. And I really like that Duke deviated in terms of our standard Poppy builds to see a more aggressive Poppy with the Sterix and the earlier Iceborne Gauntlet and Sterix combination together in order to show that you can actually 1v1 Fiora. Of course, he did have a little bit more gold, so that was a major factor, but still, he was pretty convincingly winning those 1v1s.
Yeah, it seemed to work really well. And that really kind of calls into question the kind of priority on the Fiora pick now that this Poppy build is out there.
I think it's still very much a skill-based matchup, but the nice thing for Poppy with the early Iceborne is that you at least have reliable CC on the Fiora because it doesn't matter what she riposts, you're still going to get the auto attack down with the Iceborne proc. And then if she tries to all in you, you have the Sterix to give yourself that little bit of extra burst of life at the end.
Very true. We'll be back for game 2 right after this.